Hi everyone, I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and today I want to talk about my living expenses here in Jamaica, specifically where I live in Montego Bay. In this video, we're going to cover housing, groceries and essentials, transportation, and leisure and self-care. First, let's start with housing. I live in a cozy studio apartment just outside of Montego Bay with a beautiful view. My rent is 55,000 Jamaican dollars a month, which is around 300 to 400 US dollars. I also pay utilities separate from my rent. I spend about 50 US dollars on electricity, and that's 6,000 Jamaican dollars a month. 80 to 90 US dollars for water, that's about 12,000 Jamaican dollars a month, and then 50 to 60 US dollars for internet, and that's about $6,000 a month. One thing I'm super grateful for is that my apartment has a laundry room, which saves me from having to use a laundry service, which can get pretty expensive over time. Overall, I say I live a modest lifestyle, and I love the balance of comfort and affordability I found here. If you're looking for a place to live in Jamaica, I actually found my apartment on Jamaica Classifieds. They even have an app, so you can download that from the App Store on your phone, or you can use their website. One thing I've learned about living here is that landlords often expect a deposit right away. I've been in a situation where I liked the place, we agreed on everything, but because I didn't pay the deposit immediately, they gave it to someone else. So if you see something you like, act quickly. I personally love my spot because it fits my budget, has a nice feel, and is close to everything: the beaches, stores, and the city. If you're looking for something more high-end or more rural, Jamaica has a wide range of options. All right, let's talk about groceries and essentials in Jamaica. When I first moved to Jamaica, I honestly thought I would miss out on a lot of my favorite products, especially foods and personal care items. But surprisingly, I've been able to find almost everything I need here. And in some cases, I've even discovered better alternatives that I now love. On a bi-weekly basis, I spend about 16,000 Jamaican dollars every 2 weeks, or a little over $32,000 a month, which is $200 per month USD, on groceries and essentials. At first, I was definitely overspending, just trying things, testing out different products, and figuring out what worked for me. But over time, I've learned to budget better, and I'm getting closer to a more balanced monthly rhythm. So some weeks I spend more, some weeks I spend less, but overall, I say I spend just around $32,000 to $35,000 a month on groceries and essentials. Living here definitely takes some adjustment, especially when it comes to finding new foods or substitutes for things you're used to. But if you're open to trying new things, you might be surprised at what you end up liking. Now let's talk transportation. Right now, I'm lucky enough to be using a car that I borrowed from a family member, but before that, I was taking taxis everywhere. If I needed to go into town for shopping, a single round trip would cost me about 200 to 300 Jamaican dollars, and I say that's about $1 to $2. I was spending around 6,000 Jamaican dollars a month, which is about 40 to 50 US dollars a month. Now that I'm driving, things have really shifted for me. On one hand, I've gotten way more freedom, but on the other hand, owning a car in Jamaica definitely comes with its own cost. The car that I'm borrowing had a few issues, and what I've learned is that car maintenance and labor is fairly affordable here in Jamaica, but car parts are very expensive. I spent about 500 US dollars total on small repairs. The most expensive item I needed was a side mirror, and in Jamaica, that would have cost me over $100. But I ended up buying it on a trip back to the States for around $40. Gas is also a big expense. In Jamaica, it's sold by the liter. So 1 liter is about 190 to 200 Jamaican dollars for my car. I spend around 7,000 Jamaican dollars a week, which is about 50 US dollars. Since my car guzzles gas and might be headed back to the mechanic soon, I say I spend around between 20,000 and 30,000 on gas per month, which is around $150 to $200 US dollars. So if you're thinking about driving in Jamaica, just know that gas and parts will likely be your biggest transportation costs, but having a car definitely helps if you're not in walking distance to everything you need. Now let's get to leisure, because life isn't just about bills. One of the best things about living in Jamaica is that nature is free. I love going to the beach, which doesn't cost a thing, or heading to a local park to relax and unwind. Sometimes we even drive to the country and visit the river, also free, and it's honestly one of the most peaceful ways to spend the day. One of my favorite places to visit right now is YS Falls. It's a beautiful waterfall spot that costs around $25 to enter, and it's absolutely worth it. For a fun night out, I love going to Coral Cliffs on the Hip Strip in Montego Bay for games, a little drink, and some live music, especially on a Friday night where they have a live band. I usually spend around $60 there. If I'm in the mood for something fancy, a nice dinner out runs me about $80. But when I just want to switch it up and grab some pizza, that's closer to about $20 to $30. As for self-care and beauty, I try to keep things simple, but I still treat myself. I like to use press-on nails for my hands, which costs about $7 from a local boutique. For my feet and brows, I go to a salon and spend around 5,000 Jamaican dollars, which is around $30. And when I retwist my hair, I pay around 7,500 Jamaican dollars. And one thing I absolutely love doing for myself is taking unlimited workout classes, which cost me about 32,000 Jamaican dollars a month, and that's around $200. But for me, it's worth it because it keeps me active, happy, and social. So all in all, living in Jamaica isn't always cheap, but it's full of beauty, peace, and simple pleasures. It's definitely possible to build a life here that works for your lifestyle and your budget. Pause the video for a quick breakdown of my monthly expenses and let me know in the comments if you want more information. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.